you explain to our audience what the FinCEN Form 114, the FBAR, is, and why it's filed separately to your general IRS tax return?
Sure. I'll take the second part of that first. And the reason why it's filed separately is it's going to a separate spot. It's through the Department of Treasury rather than to the Internal Revenue Service. And it's purely informational, what it's put out there. It's been in place, I believe, since the 1960s or 70s, if I remember correctly. But it's only been in the last 15 to 20 years that there's really been a focus on it. I distinctly remember doing this back in the early 2000s, and we would routinely file 10 years worth of FBARs for people, and with nary a peep from the Department of Treasury with regards to fines. But the reason the form itself is fairly simple in that respect. It just says if you are a U.S. citizen and you have accounts outside the U.S. that the combined highest balances in all of those accounts in any one calendar year exceeds US $10,000, then you must file the form and declare every account, no matter what the highest balance is. So for most people, that's really actually not that big of a deal. You have a bank account, you might have a mortgage offset account, you got a superannuation account. You find out, okay, in AUD, for example, what was the highest balance? Put them on the form, file it, it's done electronically, it's done separate from the tax return. There's no tax, and nobody ever says a word after that, after you do it. But the problem is that people, A, don't know about this requirement, yes, and therefore don't do it, or B, don't know how many accounts need to be included on that form, and they think, okay, I don't need to include this one or that one, and so the forms are delinquent for that purpose.
And what do you think the purpose of it is? Is it to make sure there's no people aren't laundering money? Is that what it is?
I believe that was the intention for it, is to ensure that there's no money laundering, with the obvious irony being that money launderers probably wouldn't be filing their FBARs anyway. Yeah. And so I'm not sure that it's serving that purpose, but it's information gathering, nothing more than nothing less.
Yeah, because I have several accounts, and I often go, oh, here's my highest amount, and then I move it over to this account, and then, oh, this is a better interest rate there, I'll move it there. And then all of a sudden, it shows up 3 times in 3 different bank accounts.
We get that question all the time.
And it makes it look
very concerned.
Yeah, well, it makes it. I was always concerned about it. I'm trying to get over that, but I always think, but I don't have that much money. I only have a quarter of what it says in total.
Yeah. No, it's one of those. My philosophy, and normally when I tell clients, is if in doubt, the answer is declare it on the FBAR.
Yeah.
Because it's still, from what we've seen so far, for the most part, it is going into an information black hole.